Yeah. Good evening, students. So, in previous two sessions for working capital management, we completed different concepts. We completed how to estimate working capital. Then we learned about operating cycle. Yesterday, we solved many practical problems so that you get better clarity, overall clarity on all the concepts that are there in this chapter. Today, we would be going in the sub component of working capital management. Number one is receivables management. Receivables management is nothing but managing your debtors. Receivables are your debtors. So receivables management simply means managing your debtors in such a way that it creates maximum net benefit to your organization. Are you getting this? हमें इस तरह मैनेज करना है कि in such a way that it creates maximum benefit to your organization and in turn creates maximum wealth to the shareholders. ऐसे मैनेज करना है. So first of all, we need to learn कि receivables का birth कहाँ से होगा. In financial world, receivables are born only if there are credit sales. Yes or no? इस दुनिया में डेटर्स आए कैसे होंगे? ओनली इफ देयर आर क्रेडिट सेल्स. करेक्ट. सो विदाउट क्रेडिट सेल्स देयर वोंट बी एनी रिसीवेबल्स, देयर वोंट बी एनी डेटर्स. नाउ with credit sales there are certain benefits and there are certain disadvantage, or in other terms I would say certain cost with credit sales. Now my question to you, let's say there are two company, X Limited, Y Limited. X Limited gives credit to the customers and Y Limited does not give any credit to the customer. Entire sales of Y Limited is on cash basis. Means आज goods लो, आज ही पैसा दो. Whereas X Limited आज goods लो, 30 दिन बाद, 40 दिन बाद पैसा दो. Tell me, किसका sales over the period ज्यादा होगा? Tell me, who would be generating more revenue over the period? X Limited या Y Limited? X Limited gives credit, whereas Y Limited does not give any credit. Entire sales of Y Limited is on cash basis. So my question to you all, who would be generating more? Yes, X Limited. Why? Because more and more people will buy from X Limited because X Limited is giving credit. Time दे रहा है payment करने के लिए. So can I say the benefit of credit sale is it will increase your revenue, which in turn will increase your net profit. Yes or no? So credit sale ka benefit is what? It increases company's revenue and in turn it will increase the net profit. This is the only benefit that credit sales generate as far as monetary benefit is concerned. Here we are talking about monetary benefits, financial benefits. There are non-monetary benefits, non-monetary factors as well that play into role. But as of now, we are talking about monetary benefits. अच्छा, क्रेडिट सेल्स है तो सिर्फ बेनिफिट नहीं, उसके साथ कुछ कॉस्ट भी आ जाता है साथ साथ में. पैरेलली देयर आर सर्टेन कॉस्ट दैट एग्जिस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ क्रेडिट सेल्स. कैन आई से again, continuing with the same example, X Limited gives credit to its customer, Y Limited does not give credit to its customer. So can I say now X Limited has to bear some admin cost? X Limited को 2-3 person रखने पड़ेंगे to recover money from customers. They have to set up their own collection team. So can I say credit sales है तो admin cost है. It will increase your admin cost. Why? Because you have to hire few employees specifically just to collect money from customers, just to send emails, regular emails to customers, just to follow up for the payments to the customers. So if credit sales are there, admin cost will increase. अच्छा कैश सेल्स होता तो ये सब करने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज एनी विच वेज पैसा तो मिल ही जाने वाला है एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम. करेक्ट. अच्छा सेकंड कॉस्ट, क्रेडिट सेल्स है तो कैन आई से देयर कम्स बैड डेट्स एज वेल, देयर आर चांसेस ऑफ बैड डेट्स एज वेल. मान लो आपके जैसे कोई कस्टमर हो जो पैसे ही ना दे, सो कैन आई से इट इज अ कॉस्ट टू द कंपनी. क्रेडिट सेल्स है तो देयर आर चांसेस ऑफ बैड डेट्स अकरिंग इन द बिजनेस. So credit sales, because of credit sales, there are benefits. Benefit is in the form of increased higher revenue and in turn higher profit. But सामने credit sales, because of credit sales, company has to bear more administration cost. There are chances of bad debts as well. Next, collection expenses, collection cost. Because of credit sales, company has to bear collection cost. Let me give you a small example. Bank, let's take example of financial institution. ठीक है, bank gives various loans to its customers, home loan, business loan, vehicle loan, etc., etc., and customer has to regularly pay EMI to the banks. Now supposingly, let's assume that there are many customers who are not paying the EMIs. They are just failing to pay the EMIs. Now, this is a loss to the bank, and they don't have enough time to follow up with each and every customer and collect payment from them. उनके पास इतना टाइम ही नहीं है that they themselves follow up with each and every customer and collect money from them. No, bank does not have enough time. They want to focus in their own core business operation. So what do they do, in real practical world? They hire recovery agent. They outsource the collection task to the professionals called recovery agents. Have you heard of this name? Recovery agents. This is practically done by banks and financial institutions, because I have done audit of this recovery agent. What they do is they simply call the customers of the bank and recover money from them. Sometimes they even threaten to the customers just to collect the money. So can I say these recovery agents will not do this work for the bank free of cost? सेवा करने तो नहीं बैठे recovery agents. Correct? So they charge certain fees from the bank for collecting the money from bank's customer, and that fees is called collection fees. So can I say if credit sales is there, collection cost भी बढ़ जाएगा. Company has to bear the collection cost. Correct? After that, credit sales में discounting cost भी आएगा. Sir, how discounting cost comes with credit sales? Let's say if my normal credit, my general credit to the customer is 60 days, and I want my customers to pay little early, to pay within 20 days, to pay within 25 days. So can I say I have to give discount to them? Certain discount, cash discount. So with credit sales can come discounting cost as well. ठीक है, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि सभी आ जाए, कुछ भी आ सकता है. With credit sales, administration cost can come, bad debts can come, collection cost can come, discounting cost can come, or all the cost can also come. It depends on company to company. ठीक है. And last but not the least, very important, with credit sales comes cost of carrying debtors. With credit sales comes cost of carrying debtors. और opportunity cost of investment in debtors. इसके दो नाम है. Either you call it as cost of carrying debtors, or either you call it as opportunity cost of investment in debtors. Now, what is this? I will explain you in next few minutes. But before that, do you have any queries still here? Like receivables, I explained you that receivables का जन्म, birth, credit sales है इसलिए होता है. And with credit sales comes certain benefits and certain disadvantages in the form of cost. Credit sales ka benefit is that it will increase the revenue of the company, which in turn will increase the net profit. बट सामने क्रेडिट सेल्स है तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कॉस्ट है, बैड डेट्स कॉस्ट है, कलेक्शन कॉस्ट है, डिस्काउंटिंग कॉस्ट है, एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट क्या कॉस्ट ऑफ कैरिंग डेटर्स है, सीओसीडी. ठीक है. नाउ अब हमें इस चैप्टर में करना क्या है? व्हाट इज द लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस चैप्टर? द लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव is of this chapter is very simple. You have to evaluate different credit policies under consideration. So let's say in question they would give supposingly the current policy of the company is giving credit on 30 days. Along with this policy, question will give you another policies like alternative one. If credit is increased to 40 days. Alternative 2, if credit is increased to 60 days. Alternative 3, if credit is increased to 75 days. So we have to evaluate different alternatives. And select the best alternative. ठीक है. इस चैप्टर में फर्स्ट पार्ट में हमें क्या करना है? We have to evaluate different policies, different alternatives under consideration and select the best one. Can I say best policy would be that policy जिसका net benefit is maximum. A net benefit is nothing but benefits less cost. Gross benefit less cost is called as my net benefit. So we have to select the best policy of all. So best policy kaun sa hoga? Which generates maximum net benefit. Are you getting this? Are you following? This is the first part of receivables management. Evaluation of different credit policies under consideration and select the best one. The best one would always be that policy which generates or which creates maximum net benefit to the company, because maximum net benefit to maximum wealth to the shareholders. ठीक है. कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर डिसीजन में भी यही किया था. There were different capital structure alternatives, different financing plans, and you had to select the best one. The best one was that plan that maximized your market price, which in turn maximizes the wealth of the shareholder. So financial management, time and again, revolves around only one thing. The ultimate objective of financial management of entire FM course is to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. Are you following? Are you getting this? Well, any doubts still here? So this is the first part of this chapter. The second part of receivables management is about the concept of factoring. So receivables management mein basically there are two concepts. There are two parts to be studied. First is evaluating different credit policies and selecting the best one. The best policy is that policy that maximizes, that creates maximum net benefit to the company. Second part is learning about factoring and how factoring works. Okay. Understood? So now, how to calculate? Again, I told you that in working capital management chapter, I told you that hamara way of solving, our way of approach in solving the problem has to be very professional and organized, correct? So again, in this format, in this chapter, to calculate net benefit, we will again learn the format. We will prepare a format, an organized format. Okay? So let's learn the format of evaluation of different credit policies. Format कुछ इस तरह होगा. First, we will write current policy, the existing credit policy that company follows. Then question would give different alternatives. different credit policies. So let's say alternative 1, alternative 2, alternative 3, alternative 4. We have to calculate net benefit. A benefit, in other words, is nothing but profit only, expected profit only. So हमें इसमें भी income statement ही बनाना है, ठीक है? So our income statement will start with sales. इसमें से I will minus variable cost so that I get contribution. इसमें से if I minus fixed cost, then my resultant figure is called as operating profit. ठीक है? ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, ठीक है? अब इसमें से ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट में से आई विल सबट्रैक्ट एडमिन कॉस्ट, ये जो 4 कॉस्ट है ना, आई विल सबट्रैक्ट दैट 5 कॉस्ट, एडमिन, बैड डेट्स कलेक्शन, डिस्काउंटिंग एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ कैरिंग डेटर्स. सो एडमिन कॉस्ट, बैड डेट्स, collection, discounting cost, and cost of carrying debtors. So the resultant figure is called as expected profit before tax. I will subtract tax from above expected profit. So I will get expected profit after tax, or you can also call it as net benefits after tax. Okay? Benefit is nothing but profit only. So in this part of the chapter or in receivables management, you have to prepare income statement only. Income statement starts with sales, less variable cost, contribution, less fixed cost, operating profit. Then all the cost that comes with credit sales वो हमने अलग minus करे, ठीक है? So this variable cost and this fixed cost will not include this 4-5 cost. This variable cost and this fixed cost is excluding admin, bad debts, collection, discounting, and cost of carrying debtors. ठीक है? So any doubts in formats, students? Simple format, just have a look once. And after finding the net benefit, we will select the best one. जिसका net benefit ज्यादा हो, we will select and we will go for that credit policy. Understood? Any doubts, any queries, any concerns still here in receivables management? Interest cost is nothing but cost of carrying debtors only. I am about to come to this topic. अब जो interest cost बोल रहे हैं ना वो इसमें ही आ जाएगा. But as of now, just forget about this part, cost of carrying debtors. अभी तक आप, as of now, you just understand that cost of carrying debtors is just like any other cost that comes with credit sales. ठीक है? So apart from that part, do you have any queries? Because I am about to come to that topic now. I am waiting for your response. Okay, no doubts. So let's move to the concept of cost of carrying debtors. This is very, very important. Cost of carrying debtors. Or you can also term it as opportunity cost of investment in debtors. In module, they have used the terminology as opportunity cost of investment in debtors. Okay? Let me give you an illustration so that you get better clarity. ठीक है? So let's say sales for the year is rupees 12 lakhs. ठीक है? My collection period or the credit allowed to my customer is 30 days. Correct? And my cost of sales is 80% to sales. So these are the facts and figures given to you. Acha. Interest rate or the opportunity rate is, let's say, 18%. ठीक है? Calculate cost of carrying debtors. So first step involved while calculating cost of carrying debtors is first calculate the amount of debtors. Step 1 is always calculate the amount of debtors. Please pay attention. This is very important. So how to calculate amount of debtors? Can I say I have sales and I have credit period? So I can use sales and credit period and find debtors? Yes or no? So can I say my debtors would be 12 lakh into 30 and let's assume 360 days in a year for easiness, for ease. So कितना आया? My amount in debtors, my amount blocked in debtors कितना आया? 12 lakh into 30 divided by 360. 1 lakh. Yes or no? Everyone, 1 lakh. बोलो यहां तक any doubt? Step 1 in calculation for cost of carrying debtors is first find and calculate the debtors amount. Are you getting this? So debtors is nothing but sales into credit period divided by 360. Correct? So my debtors, it means my amount blocked in debtors is 1 lakh. Yes or no? This is the amount blocked in my customer. Means आज मैंने सेल किया है तो after 30 days I will receive this 1 lakh. Yes or no? So for 30 days my amount is blocked. मेरे पास उतना पैसा नहीं है for 30 days. Yes or no? And for smooth running, for smooth flow of my business, I want this money today only. Otherwise my business will stop. Yes or no? आज मैंने सेल किया उसका पैसा मुझे 30 दिन के बाद आएगा. तो कैन आई से माय 1 lakh is blocked for 30 days. 1 lakh is blocked in my customer for 30 days. But I need money for smooth working of my, for smooth flow of my business. I want to continue my business. So I need money. I need this 1 lakh today only. I cannot block it for 30 days. If I block it, my business functioning will stop. So I need money today only. So what I will do, I will have two options. I have two options to raise this 1 lakh. Either I invest my own fund. Either I invest my own fund. Yes or no? I invest my own money, or I borrow from outside and invest in the business. Borrow and invest. Yes or no? Say 1 lakh. I have to raise, I have to manage, I have to find ways to bring this 1 lakh into the business for smooth flow of my business or business operations. Yes or no? So what I will do, I have two options. Either खुद के पैसे डालो business में कहीं और से, और borrow करके business में डालो. So if I borrow, can I say no one will give me loan free of cost? They will charge interest. So let's say interest in our present case is 18%. So 1 lakh pay 18%. 18,000 is nothing but my cost of carrying debtors. Are you following? And if you have not borrowed the money, but if you have invested your own funds, so can I say own funds के साथ opportunity cost आएगा? यस और नो? आपने शेयर्स को बेचा होगा, you would have sold some real estate, you would have sold some gold and jewelry and then invested into the business, yes or no? So if own funds are there, there is always opportunity cost attached. If you are borrowing the funds, then interest cost is attached. Okay? So again, you have used, let's say, these funds, this 1 lakh you had invested in shares and securities, and you were earning 18% on 1 lakh from that shares and securities. So can I say now you have to sell those shares and securities and you have to invest in the business? So if you sell, you have lose an opportunity to earn 18%. So again, 1 lakh ka 18%. 18,000 is your opportunity cost of investment in debtors. Are you following? So if you borrow the money, cost of carrying debtors. If you invest your own funds, then with own funds always come opportunity cost or opportunity loss. So that is opportunity cost of investment in debtors. Okay? So step 1 is calculate the debtors, calculate the amount of debtors, and step 2 is apply the interest rate or apply the opportunity cost rate to the debtors. Okay? Step 2, apply interest percentage on above debtors calculated. So this is my cost of carrying debtors or opportunity cost of investment in debtors. ठीक है? बोलो any doubts here? आपको एक डाउट होना चाहिए. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर दैट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम योर साइड. जो हमने वर्किंग कैपिटल एस्टिमेशन में भी सीखा था. But as of now, any doubt in conceptual clarity? What is the meaning of the word of the term cost of carrying debtors? Bolo, any doubt? Any concerns? You should have one doubt. एक डाउट तो होना ही चाहिए. Tell me. Or what? I'm waiting. हाँ. डाउट ये होना चाहिए कि debtors here I have valued the debtors on sales. Can I say this 12 lakh is not the actual amount blocked? This 12 lakh includes the element of profit as well. Yes or no? हम वर्किंग कैपिटल एस्टिमेशन में डेटर्स को वैल्यू करते थे कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स पे. याद है? Why? Because actual amount blocked in my customers is the cost and not the amount of sales. Because sales includes profit as well. So profit may never the amount gets blocked. Are you getting this? So debtors, instead of valuing on sales, I will value it over cost of sales. Are you following? The actual amount that is blocked is not my sales ka amount. It is cost of sales. So can I say the actual amount blocked in debtors is nothing but 12 lakh into 80%? Yes or no? Following? So ये आपको आपकी क्वेरी होनी चाहिए थी, but no one had this query. But no worries. I explained you that the debtors are to be valued on total cost. हाँ, institute also accepts if you value the debtors on sales, but उसका नोट लिख देना चलेगा. ऐसे नोट लिख देना नीचे. नोट, debtors are valued on total cost of sales. Similarly,
Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
समझा? So to calculate cost of carrying debtors, you have to simply follow two steps. First, since we have to calculate debtors, we have to calculate cost on debtors. तो पहले debtors की amount तो find करो. So step 1 is to calculate debtors. And how to calculate debtors? We have already learned in ratios chapter. We have also learned in estimation of working capital chapter. Second, apply the interest rate or opportunity cost rate given in the question. ठीक है? It is as simple as that. ठीक है, अब इस पे प्रैक्टिकल, लेट्स टेक सम प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम. Let's solve some practical problem. Illustration number 12, page number 6. Illustration number 12, page number 6 of your module. A trader whose current sales are in the region of 6 lakhs per annum and an average collection period of 30 days wants to pursue a more liberal policy to improve sales. Means they are contemplating, they are anticipating to give more credit to their customers. Why? So that sales increase and their profit increase. Okay? A study made by the management consultant reveals the following information. So there are 4 credit policies under evaluation, ABCD. Policy A, increase the collection period in 10 days. So when I say the credit period for policy A would be 40 days. The current policy of the company is to give credit for 30 days. And now they are evaluating another 4 different credit policies, ABCD. So credit policy A ka credit period is 30 plus 10 days increase, which comes to 40 days. So if we increase the credit period to 40 days, sales will now be increased by 30,000. मतलब कि 6,30,000 हो जाएगा. And present default anticipated. Default anticipated is nothing but your bad debts. Bad debts loss would be 1.5%. ठीक है? Likewise, information for policy B, for policy C, for policy D. The selling price per unit is rupees 3. Okay. Average cost per unit is 2.25 and variable cost per unit are rupees 2. So of this rupees 3 ka selling price, my total cost is 2.25. एक यूनिट बनाने का खर्चा है 2.25 and of this 2.25 variable is rupees 2. So can I say balance would be fixed cost? The current bad debt loss is 1%. So under current policy, my bad debts cost is 1%. Required return on additional investment is 20%. This is nothing but your cost of carrying debtors ka percentage. Required return on additional investment means opportunity cost का percentage दिया हुआ है 20%. Assume 360 days in a year. Analyze which of the following policy you will follow. ठीक है? So let's evaluate. Huh?
So here we are consider 20% as a percentage. Doesn't take any per annum or per month.
No, it is per annum only. It has to be assumed per annum only. Okay. 20% cannot be per. Okay. This is policy A, B, C, D. The average collection period. Under current policy, it is 30 days. Under A, 40 days. Under B is 50 days. C, it is 60 and D, it is 75. 60 days, 75 days. ठीक है? So I will start with sales. Sales under current policy is 6 lakh. If I go for policy A, my sales will increase by 30. If I go for policy B, 48,000 से increase होगा. So 630, 648, 675, 690. 648, 675, 690. ठीक है. Now, calculation of variable cost and fixed cost. Okay, so my current sales is rupees 6 lakh. Yes or no? And my selling price per unit is 3. So can I say number of unit would be 2 lakh? Number of unit would be 2 lakh. Yes or no? My variable cost per unit is 2 rupees, right? Is rupees 2. Yes or no? So when sales ratio rupees 3 into 100, yes or no? यही होगा. Because variable cost is that cost that varies with sales. तो हमें उसका percentage निकालना पड़ेगा. Because it will vary with sales. So variable cost per unit is 2, selling price per unit is 3. So can I say 66.67% of sales? Yes or no? Yeah, are you following this? Simple mathematics. And my fixed cost per unit is rupees 0.25. Sir, 0.25 कैसे आया? My total cost of one unit is 2.25. उसमें रुपया variable cost. So can I say balance would be fixed cost? So fixed cost in rupees would be 2 lakh units. Into percentage में निकाला, इसको rupees में निकाला. Are you getting this? इसलिए variable cost का percentage निकाला and fixed cost का amount निकाला. Are you following? Because variable cost for all the policies will change, but percentage of variable cost will remain same. Whereas fixed cost का amount will remain same for all the policies. Are you following? So यहाँ पे less variable cost, it will be at 66.67% of my sales. Correct? So contribution, it will be at 33.33%. Less fixed cost. Fixed cost will remain same for all the policies. Fixed cost never changes. It has to be fixed. Correct? Help me in calculating contribution का figure. ₹6 lakh into 2 divided by 3. So this variable cost comes to 4 lakh. Contribution comes to 2 lakh. In second scenario, in credit policy A, my variable cost comes to 420. My contribution will be 210. $432. This is 216. This is 450. This is 225. 460. 230. Well, any doubts still here? So my operating profit will come to 150, 160, 160, 166, ये होगा 175 एंड ये होगा 180. Any doubts still here, students? So variable cost has to vary with sales, but fixed cost will remain same. Huh? Fixed cost will remain same. That it will not vary. So fixed cost per unit मत निकालना. Are you following? अब इसके बाद फॉर्मेट में क्या माइनस कर देते हैं? एडमिन कॉस्ट. Is admin cost given in the question? No, there are no admin costs, so no need to mention that. Admin cost के बाद our second cost was bad debts. Yes, bad debts is there. So bad debts हम minus करेंगे. Can I say bad debts is always on sales? Bad debts is always on sales का figure. So my current policy, under my current policy, my bad debts loss is 1%. So can I say my bad debts loss is 6 lakh ka 1%? Yes or no? Which comes to 6,000 rupees. Then this for policy A, it would be 6,30,000 ka 1.5%, which comes to 9,450. Then for policy B, it would be 6,48,000 ka 2%. 12,960. Likewise for policy C, it would be 675 ka 3%. 2,250. And likewise for policy D, 690 ka 4%. 27,600. Okay. So this is 6 lakh ka 1%. This is 6.3 lakh ka 1.5%. And likewise, this is 6.9 lakh ka 4%. Understood? So this is how you calculate bad debts. Bad debts is always on sales. Now, is there any collection cost given anywhere in the question? It is not given. So we will not write that. Is there any discounting cost given in the question? Anywhere? Again, it is not given. So no need to mention discounting cost as well. So last but not the least, cost of carrying debtors. And we will solve this using working note number 2. ठीक है, working note number 1. Sorry, यहाँ पे लिखना है. Less cost of carrying debtors. Working note number 2. Working note number 1 we have used to find variable cost to sales ratio and fixed cost per unit. ठीक है. So working note number 2. Calculation of cost of carrying debtors. ठीक है. For current policy. Step 1. Step 1 is to calculate the amount of debtors. Cost of carrying debtors, as I told you, will involve 2 steps. Step 1 is calculate debtors for current policy, for A, for B, for C and D. And step 2, apply the percentage that is given in the question. So when I say debtors, my cost, again I told you, debtors can be valued on sales. But more practical, more logical is to take cost of sales. Are you getting this? So the cost of sales in the present question would be variable cost and fixed cost. This is my total cost of sales. ठीक है? So my debtors under current policy would be 4,50,000 multiply by average collection period under current policy. It is 30 days. Correct? So into 30 divided by 360. Question has specifically mentioned that use 360 days in a year. For policy A, can I say my collection period is 40 days? For policy B, can I say it is for 50 days? My average collection period is for 50 days. So into 50 divided by 360. For policy C, it is 60 divided by 360. And for policy D, it is 75 divided by 360. Correct? My total cost for policy A is 420 plus 50. So my total cost of sales is nothing but your sum of variable cost and fixed cost. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे हो जाएगा 470. In next case, it would be 482. 432 plus 50. For policy C, it would be 450 plus 50, which comes to 5 lakh. And for policy D, it would be 460 plus 50, 5 lakh 10. So help me in step 1. Amount of debtors कितना आ रहा है under current policy? It is 450 into 30 divided by 360, 37,500. Friends, don't do mistake over here. This is not my cost of carrying debtors. This is just the amount of debtors. इसके बाद हमें interest percentage apply करना है. This is where most of the students do mistake. They write this as cost of carrying debtors, but this is just the debtors का amount, not the cost. For policy A, 470 into 40 divided by 360. 470 into 40 divided by 360. 52,222. 482 into 50 divided by 360. 66,944. 5 lakh into 60 divided by 360. 83,333. 5 lakh 10 into 75 divided by 360. 106,250. So this is the amount of my debtors. Correct? And not the cost of carrying debtors. Step 2. Step 2. Apply rate of investment का percentage. So under current policy A, B, C, D. My debtors under current policy was 37,500 multiply by ROI. Opportunity ROI is 20% per annum. So we will apply that. 52,222 multiply by 20%. 66,944 multiply by 20%. 83,333 multiply by 20%. 106,250 multiply by 20%. So tell me the cost of carrying debtors. This comes to 21,250. 16,667. 13,389. 10,444. 7,500. Followed, everyone? 7,500, 10,444. So this is 7,500, 10,444, 13,389, 16,667, and last but not the least, 21,250. 21,250. So my expected profit before tax, or I can say expected profit after tax, because taxation is not given in this question. So this is nothing but my net benefit itself. Tax rate नहीं दिया ना क्वेश्चन में, so no need to assume on your own. ठीक है? So करो माइनस ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट इज 150, उसमें से बैड डेट्स इज 6000, so 150 minus 6000 and minus 7500. $136,500. Correct. Second is 160 minus 9450 minus 10444. 140, 106. Third is 166 minus 12960 minus 13389. 139,651. Fourth is 175 minus 2250 minus 16667. 138,083. And last but not the least, 180 minus 27,600 minus 21,250. 131,150. Okay. So credit policy A is generating the highest maximum net benefit. So our advice to the company should be, company should go for policy A, which is nothing but average collection period of 40 days. Okay? As it generates maximum net benefit. Means कंपनी को सबको 40 दिन का क्रेडिट देना चाहिए. Are you following? And don't forget to write the note. Debtors are valued on total cost. Likewise, it can also be valued on sales. Okay? Don't forget to write this note. So this is how you attempt the question of evaluation of different credit policies and selecting the best one. देखो वही आंसर आ रहा है. बोलो, any doubts, students? Any doubts over here? Sales value of all the policy. It is given in the question only. Current sales is 6 lakh, correct? If I go for policy A, question has mentioned that my sales will increase by 30,000. Sales में कितनी बढ़ोतरी होगी? 30,000 की. तो कहना है इसे policy A का sales would be 630. अच्छा, if I go for policy B, question has mentioned that sales में बढ़ोतरी 48,000 की होगी. So कहना है इसे my total sales for policy B would be 648. Yes or no? 6 lakh is my current sales. And increase कितना हो रहा है? तो 30, 48, 75, 90. Yeah. So that's why I told you yesterday that you have to read the question very thoroughly. Understood, students? So the approach that we have followed over here in calculating the net benefit is called as total approach. There is one more approach called incremental approach. Incremental is what? It is nothing but taking the difference. It is also called as differential approach. सो उसमें क्या करना है, वी हैव टू जस्ट टेक द डिफरेंस ऑफ ऑल द लाइन आइटम्स. ये जो फॉर्मेट की जो लाइन आइटम्स है ना, सेल्स, सो सेल्स फॉर करंट इट इज 6 lakh. For policy A, it is 630. So can I say incremental sales for policy A and current, between policy A and current, is 30,000? Yes or no? तो incremental approach आपका कुछ इस तरह बनेगा. Current policy, then you have policy A, then incremental. ठीक है? Then policy B, then again incremental. Then policy C, again incremental. पॉलिसी डी अगेन इंक्रीमेंटल. ठीक है. सो पॉलिसी ए का सेल्स इज 6 lakh एंड पॉलिसी करंट पॉलिसी, द सेल्स अंडर करंट पॉलिसी इज 6 lakh एंड अंडर पॉलिसी ए इज 6.3. तो कहने से इंक्रीमेंटल इज 30,000.3. अच्छा, अंडर करंट पॉलिसी इट इज 6 lakh एंड फॉर पॉलिसी बी इट इज 6 lakh. कितना था? 648. So can I say incremental is 48,000? Yes or no? You just compare it with current policy. For policy C, it is 6.75 lakh. So can I say incremental sales between current policy and policy C is 75,000? Yes or no? So you just compare it with current policy. Are you following? ऐसे ही सब लाइन आइटम्स के साथ आपको इंक्रीमेंटल का कॉलम बनाना है. आर यू फॉलोइंग? सो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट अंडर करंट पॉलिसी इट इज 4 lakh and under policy A it is 420. So can I say incremental variable cost or the differential variable cost between current policy and policy A is 20,000? Yes or no? So यहाँ पे हम माइनस करेंगे वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. Here it is 4, कितना था भूल गया, 4 lakh and 420. So when I say 0.2, ये माइनस करेंगे. So my incremental contribution comes to 10,000. Yes or no? So you have to just, when the question asks you to follow incremental approach, you have to just take the difference. Incremental approach is nothing but differential approach. I hope you followed. Okay? But in absence of information, you always go for total approach. That is more fast and more easy. ये इंक्रीमेंटल की एक्स्ट्रा कॉलम बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Understood, friends? So to evaluate different policies and to find the net benefit, you have two approaches: total approach, incremental approach. Under incremental approach, the only difference is that you take difference of each and every line item. ठीक है? Understood? So another method of solving is incremental approach. You just take the incremental or the difference amount. So can you see the differential sales is 30, 48, 75, 90. The differential variable cost is 20. Likewise 32, 50, 60. सारा डिफरेंस ही लेना है, बस और कुछ नहीं करना है. And last में you have incremental net benefit. Followed, friends? Any doubts? Any questions?
So it's a request. Can you please come to the cost of carrying data percentage slide once?
Here it is. You have to follow two steps while calculating cost of carrying data. Step 1 is first calculate debtors and then apply the percentage.
Okay. Yeah. Please come to the next one. Step 2.
Okay.
So here there is no need to multiply with the number of collection period of days. Oh, sorry. We have already
we have already done
in step 1. Okay. Thank you. No worries.
Okay. So let's move to next question. Question 13. Illustration number 13. XYZ Corporation is considering relaxing its present credit policy and is in the process of evaluating two proposed policy. So isme there are only three evaluation. One is the present policy and another two new policies. Okay? Currently, so this is, they are talking about the current scenario. The firm has annual credit sales of 50 lakh and the debtors turnover ratio is 4 times a year. Okay, this is turnover ratio. This is not collection period. So when I say to find out the collection period from debtors turnover ratio, the formula is very simple. It is nothing but 12 divided by 4. Yes or no? यही formula थी. 12 divided by receivables turnover ratio is nothing but your collection period. Ratios में I hope you have learned this thing. The current level of bad debts cost is 150. The firm is required to give a return of 25% on the investment in new accounts receivable. So this is again nothing but your rate of investment, ROI percentage or interest percentage. The company's variable costs are 70% of the selling price. Okay. Given the following information, identify which is the better option. Means whether the company should follow present policy or it should go for option 1 or option 2. You have to evaluate that. Again, format remains same. So this is present. Option 1. Option 2. The average collection period. Tell me, how to calculate average collection period when turnover ratio is given. So when I say the formula for calculating the average collection period is nothing but 12 divided by turnover ratio, debtors turnover ratio. I hope you have studied this in ratios. Huh? So 12 divided by 4, which comes to 3 months. Correct? For option 1 and for option 2. For option 1, the turnover ratio is how much? 3 times. So 12 divided by 3, which comes to 4 months. And for option 2, it is 2.4 times. So it comes to 12 divided by 2.4. 5 months. So can I say my average collection period is 3 months, 4 months, and 5 months. Okay? So let's start our format with sales. Current sales is how much? 50 lakhs. Under policy 1, it will be 60. And under policy 2, it will be 6750. 50 lakhs. 60 lakhs. 67 lakh 50,000. Less variable cost. It is at 70% on sales. Okay? So 5,735. 6,742. 6750 into 70. Kelsey will help me. 47 lakh 25,000. So my contribution comes to 15 lakh, 18 lakh, and 20 lakh 25,000. Does the question mention anything about fixed cost? कहीं पे भी fixed cost दिया हुआ है? Please read the question very carefully. Does the question mention anything about fixed cost? बताओ. How 30%? If we take variable cost 70% and 30% as fixed cost, तो नील हो गया profit. Nothing it is mentioned. So ignore. Fixed cost is not given in the question. So ignore that. अगर ये 30% ले ले फिक्स कॉस्ट, अरे सॉरी ये वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 70% ले ले, फिक्स कॉस्ट 30% ले ले, तो ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट ही नील हो गया. That is not the scenario. So operating profit is 15 lakh, 18 lakh, and fixed cost is never on sales. Huh? It is never on sales. अब इसमें से we will subtract admin, bad debts, collection and discounting. A is admin cost given in the question. There is no admin cost. ठीक है. So नील. अच्छा bad debts है, तो bad debts हम लिखेंगे. How much is the bad debts? Bad debts loss is directly it is given 153 lakh 450. So 150 3 lakh 450. ठीक है. कलेक्शन कॉस्ट भी नहीं है, डिस्काउंटिंग कॉस्ट भी नहीं है. सो बचा क्या? कॉस्ट ऑफ कैरिंग डेटर्स. And this we will solve it using working note. So working note number 2. Calculation of cost of carrying debtors. Now I will write short form, a COCD, cost of carrying debtors. Step 1. Calculate the amount of debtors. Current, option 1, option 2. Can I say debtors has to be valued on cost? And in my present case, my total cost will only be my variable cost because fixed cost कुछ है ही नहीं. So my total cost for valuing the debtors in this question is my variable cost. Correct? 35 lakh, 42 lakhs, 47 lakh 25,000 multiplied with collection period. Under current policy, it is 3 months. Under option 1, it is 4 months. And under option 2, it is 5 months. 4 by 12, 5 by 12. So my amount of debtors is 35 lakh into 3 by 12. 875. 42 lakh into 4 divided by 12. 14 lakh. 4725 into 5 divided by 12. 1968 750. So this is the amount that is blocked in my debtors. And for smooth functioning of my business operation, I would need funds. And I am bringing these funds either from my own pocket, from my own resources, or either I'm borrowing and investing. So I have to apply ROI percentage on debtors. Okay? So current, option 1, option 2. 875, 14, exact 14, and 1968 750. My percentage is 25%, which is given in the question. So this comes to 492 188. 14 lakhs ka 25%. 350. 875. 218. 750. ठीक है? So 218, 750, 350. 490 to 188. And the resultant figure will be my, acha, is taxation given? The expected, the resultant figure is actually called as expected profit before tax. But since no taxation is given, this will be my net benefit. So minus karo 15 lakh minus 150. Minus 218,750. 1131 250. 18 lakh minus 6 lakh 50. 11 lakh 50,000. 2025 450 minus 490 to 188. 3346. Sorry. 2025 minus 450 minus 490 to 188. 1080 to 812. So when I said this policy A or option 1 is generating maximum net benefit to the company, so company should go for policy A, which is giving credit of 4 months. Okay? And note, debtors are valued on total cost. And here total cost is nothing but my variable cost. Likewise, it can also be valued on sales. Understood? Okay? So we are getting the same answer. So here, instead of mentioning cost of carrying debtors, they have mentioned opportunity cost of investment in debtors. Okay? The answer is same, or the meaning is same. Now, before moving to factoring, let's solve this question because this has some really new meaning, something new that you will learn in managing receivables. आप कुछ नया सीखोगे. So before entering into factoring, we will solve this last question for evaluating the credit policy and selecting the best one. ठीक है? Illustration number 14. A company is presently having credit sales of 12 lakh. So the current sales under current policy, the company's revenue is 12 lakh. The existing credit terms means the current credit terms is 1/10 net 45 and average collection period is 30 days. So my current credit terms, the average collection period is 30 days. But what is this 1/10 net 45? Have you heard of this term before? 1/10 net 45, 2/10 net 60, 3/10 net 90, 3/10 net 15. ऐसा सुना है कभी पहले? So this is new for you all, right? How to interpret? इसका मतलब क्या? I will explain you. The meaning is very simple. 1/10 net 45 means the general credit period. आज मैंने सेल किया तो आप 45 दिन तक पैसे दे सकते हो, but if you pay me within 10 days, general credit allowed is 45 days, but if you pay me within 10 days, I will give you 1% of discount. This is how you interpret 1/10 net 45. जनरल क्रेडिट 45 डेज तक की छूट है, बट 10 दिन तक आप पेमेंट कर देते हो. कहने से आई हैव टू ऑफर सम डिस्काउंट एंड दैट डिस्काउंटिंग रेट इज 1%. Are you following? Likewise, if you read this as 2 by 10 net 30, so this means general payment days is 30 days. But if you pay me within 10 days, then I will give you 2% cash discount. Are you following? This is how you interpret. 3 by 10, acha, 3 by 15, net 60. It means general period allowed to you is 60 days. आप 60 days तक payment कर सकते हो. General credit allowed to you is 60 days. But if you make payment within 15 days, 15 दिन में ही कर देते हो, I will offer you 3% cash discount. Are you following? Any doubts? This is how you interpret this term. CA final level पे तो ये बार बार आएगा आपको. So you should know what does that mean. Followed? So the average collection period under current policy is 30 days. But if customer pays within 10 days, company will give 1% of discount. The current bad debts loss is 1.5%. In order to accelerate the collection process further and to increase the sales, company is contemplating liberalizing its credit period to 2 by 10 net 45. ठीक है? क्या करना चाहती है कंपनी? 2%. Company is now, the current discounting percent is 1%. If you make payment within 10 days. But now, if you make payment within 10 days, company is contemplating to give you 2% discount. ऐसा लिखा है. 2 by 10 net 45. Are you getting this? 45 days is the general credit allowed, but if you make payment within 10 days, company will give you 2% का cash discount. It is expected that sales are likely to increase by 1/3 of existing sales. मतलब ये पॉलिसी, ये लिबरलाइजेशन करने से कंपनी का सेल्स 1/3 से बढ़ जाएगा. मींस कहने से द एग्जिस्टिंग सेल्स इज 12 lakh एंड बाय लिबरलाइजिंग द पॉलिसी कंपनी का सेल्स वुड बी 12 lakh plus 1/3 of 12 lakh. Are you getting this? However, bad debts will also increase to 2% and my average collection period will come down to 20 days. Are you getting this? So the average collection period under current policy is 30 days, but under new policy it is 20 days. The contribution to sales ratio is 22% and opportunity cost of investment in receivables is 15% pre-tax. Understood? 50%. So this 15% is nothing but my ROI ka percentage. 50% and 80% of customers in terms of sales revenue are expected to avail cash discount under existing and liberalization scheme. ये स्टेटमेंट क्या कहना चाहता है पता है? कि 50% लोग, 50% of customers under existing policy will make payment within 10 days because they are availing cash discount. तो obviously वो लोग ने 10 दिन के अंदर ही पेमेंट किया होगा. Yes or no? तभी जाके I will give them cash discount. Whereas under new policy, 80% are availing that scheme. Means can I say 80% of the customers would have been making payment within 10 days? Yes or no? Are you getting this? This is very important. Bolo, any doubts in this statement? Did you follow, friends? Correct? So advise whether the company should change its credit term or not. So in this present illustration, there are only two credit policies. Current and the new one, which is called as liberalized policy. Okay? The average collection period, it is 30 days under current policy, and under liberalized it is 20 days. Can you see the average collection period declines to 20 days when we follow liberalized policy? Okay? So I will start with sales. My sales is 12 lakhs under current policy, and under liberalized policy it would increase by 1/3 of 12 lakh. Yes or no? Means 4 lakh से बढ़ जाएगा. So can I say my liberalized or sales under liberalized scheme it would be 16 lakhs. सर ये 1/3 से बढ़ेगा कहाँ दिया है? एक क्वेश्चन में ही दिया है. The sales are likely to increase by 1/3 of existing sales. ठीक है. My contribution ratio is given, which is at 22%. Yes or no? So can I say my variable cost would be at 78% because contribution is given at 22%. 12 lakh का 78%. 936. 16 lakh का 78%. 12 lakh 48. lakh minus 936. So my contribution comes to 264. 16 lakh minus 1248. 352. Fixed cost is not given in the question. So we have to take it as nil. So operating profit comes to 264 under current policy, and operating profit under liberalized scheme comes to 3,52,000. Okay. Now we will subtract admin cost. Is admin cost given anywhere in the question? No, admin cost is not given. But yes, bad debts is given. So we will subtract bad debts. Okay, bad debts loss is how much? Current bad debts loss is 1.5%. Means under current policy, my bad debts cost is 12 lakh ka 1.5%. So 12 lakh into 1.5%, which comes to 18,000. And under liberalized policy, my bad debts 3 lakh का 2% हो जाएगा. It would be 32,000. Correct? Collection cost nahi hai, but yes, there is discounting cost in the present scenario. Why? Because 1/10 net 45 and 50% of the customer under current policy are availing the discount. Means वो लोग ने 10 दिन के अंदर पेमेंट किया होगा, and 80% of the customer under liberalized policy are availing the discount. So let's first calculate discounting cost. ठीक है, under current policy and under liberalized scheme. Can I say discounting? Discount I have to give on sales only. Cost of carrying debtors, you value it on cost. To calculate debtors for COCD, you value debtors on cost. But discounting के लिए मुझे discount तो sales पे ही देना पड़ेगा. So can I say यहाँ पे debtors would be valued on sales? Yes or no? So discount under current policy would be given on 12 lakh, and discount under liberalized scheme would be given on 16 lakhs. Under current policy, 50% avail that discounting wala scheme. Means they make payment within 10 days. And यहाँ पे 80% लोग, 80% customer avail the discounts. Correct? And my discounting cost is 1%. Here it is 2%. Hey, did you follow this? My current sales is 12 lakh. My liberalized scheme ka sales is 16 lakh. Current sales में 50% of customers avail cash discount of 1%. and liberalized scheme में 80% of customers avail cash discount of 2%. Correct? So यहाँ पे it becomes 6,000 and यहाँ पे it comes to 25,600. Any doubts in discounting? This was unique in this question. पहली बार discounting आया and 25,600. ठीक है? This we have calculated from working note number 1. Any doubts? Can I move to COCD because that is also very important. उसमें students बहुत mistake करते हैं. Can I move to COCD? बोलो, discounting clear? Okay. So working note 2. Please pay attention. This is now very important. Calculation of COCD, cost of carrying debtors. Again, the steps remain same. Step 1, calculate debtors. Correct? So under debtors, there are two options, current policy and liberalized policy. Acha, under current policy also, debtors would be bifurcated into two parts. Because 50% debtors के लिए collection period is 10 days. They are paying within 10 days. And बाकी के जो 50% debtors है, they would be paying, the average collection period is 30 days. Are you following? सबके लिए 30 days नहीं है. अभी तक हमने जितने question करे थे, the two problems that we solved, we used to multiply the cost of sales with average collection period. But यहाँ पे under current policy, there are two collection periods. One is 10 days, one is 30 days. And under liberalized policy, again, there are two collection periods. One is 20 days, one is 10 days. Are you following this? So, यहाँ पे ध्यान देना. So, current policy. Can I say 50% customers के लिए होगा and बाकी के 50% customers के लिए अलग होगा. ठीक है? And for calculating COCD, we take cost, and not sales का amount. So we will take this amount, 936 and 12,48. ध्यान देना, please. So can I say under current policy, my cost of sales is 936? Yes or no? अच्छा, 936 के 50% customers के लिए collection period is 10 days. Divided by 360 बोला है to take 360 days. Yes, they have mentioned. Did you follow this? And बाकी के 50% customers के लिए my collection period would be 30 days. That is the average collection period. Did you follow this? Hey, did you get this? To calculate COCD, we do not take sales का amount, we take cost. So I have taken variable cost का amount. So variable cost में से 50% के लिए collection period is 10 days because they are availing discount. So obviously they would have paid within 10 days. And बाकी के 50% के लिए we will take the average collection period, the general collection period. Followed. This is little tricky, so don't make mistakes over here. So 936 into 50% into 10 divided by 360. So 13,000 plus 936 into 50% into 30 divided by 360. 39,000. So when I say my total debtors for current policy comes to 52,000. Yes or no? Likewise, I will calculate debtors for liberalized scheme. उसमें दो पार्ट में डिवाइड होंगे, वन इज 80% कस्टमर्स, वन इज 20% कस्टमर्स। वहां पे 50-50 नहीं है, वहां पे 80-20 है। सो कैन आई से अगेन आई हैव टू वैल्यू माय डेटर्स ऑन कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स विच इज 1248. सो कैन आई से 1248 के 80% customers will pay me within 10 days. So their collection period is 10 days. Whereas 20% of balance customers will pay me within 20 days. That is the general collection period for liberalized scheme. ठीक है? So 1248 into 0.8 into 10 divided by 360. 27,733. 1248 into 20% into 30 divided by 360. 20,800. So when I say my total debtors for liberalized scheme would be 48,533. Bolo, any doubts, friends? This is again just the step one. This is not your COCD. So ये error तो करना ही मत. This is just calculating the debtors. But here debtors were bifurcated into further two parts. Because कुछ कस्टमर जल्दी पेमेंट कर रहे थे, कुछ कस्टमर के लिए कलेक्शन पीरियड वाज लेट. Followed? And now step 2. Apply ROI percent, which is nothing but 15%. Under current, under liberalized. So current debtors comes to 52,000 and liberalized scheme में debtors comes to 58,533. Percentage is 15%. So 52,000. This comes to 7,280. 52,000 into 15%. 7,800. Instead of 2,800, आप क्या बोल रहे हो? It will be 13,866. Let me check again. 1248 into 20% into 20 days divided by 360. Yes, 13,866. Yeah, there was calculation error. 13,867. So 13,867 plus 27,733. 41,600. So this comes to 41,600. Okay. This comes to 41,600. 41,600. 6240. Okay. So discounting cost के बाद COCD cost. It is nothing but 7,800. 6240. So when I say this is my expected profit before tax, why I am writing before tax? Because यहाँ पे taxation दिया है. कितना आएगा? 264 minus 18,000 minus 6,000 and minus 7,800. 230 to 200. Less tax, which will give me net benefits after tax. And under liberalized scheme, it would be 352 minus 32 minus 25,600 minus 6240. 288,160. The taxation rate is how much? Taxation rate is 30%. So 86,448 201,712 and 232,269 660 162,540. So since net benefit after tax under liberalized scheme is more, the company should go for liberalized policy. Understood? समझा? So यहाँ पे the tricky part was to calculate cash discounting, although it was less tricky compared to COCD. Followed? Any doubts, students? एक बार आपको ये COCD देखना हो तो देख लो. So with this, we complete the first part, that is evaluating different policies and selecting the best one. And वो भी हमने 3 practical problem करे. So we have understood this in a very detailed manner. ठीक है? Now let's move to another topic of management of receivables, which is called as factoring. Have you heard of this word factoring? ये वो मैथ्स में फैक्टर सुना था वो नहीं है ये. This is a completely different term than that factor. Have you heard of this term before? If yes, anyone wants to try, what do you mean by factoring? Bolo. In simple terms, factoring is outsourcing of your collection process. If I explain you in layman terms, factoring is nothing but outsourcing of your collection process. Factoring is just like your banks and another financial institutions. Factor is nothing but your financial institution only. Supposingly SBI factor, ICICI factor. What do you know? They entirely outsource. They provide outsourcing services as far as collection is concerned. Okay? So in layman terms, it is nothing but outsourcing of collection process. Every business organizations want to always give time or focus on its core business operations. उनके पास ये सब collection process और customer service और any other process के लिए उतना time नहीं होता है. But having said that, such process are equally important for business operations. मान लो collection ही ढंग से नहीं हो रहा है, so can I say there would be impact on cash flows and in turn will have heavy impact on business operations. So giving importance to such processes is equally important. But business organization does not have time for that. So what do? They outsource such process to professionals. And professionals called factor will help them in collecting the receivables. Are you getting this? And in turn, factor will charge certain percentage as a fees called factoring commission or factoring fees. ठीक है, उसको आप कमीशन का नाम दो, कमीशन भी बोल सकते हो, फीस का नाम दो, फीस भी बोल सकते हो. So let's say my total receivables is 10 lakh. I don't have time to recover this 10 lakh, to follow up my customers and recover 10 lakh. What will I do? I will outsource this entire process to a financial institution called factor. अब factor को मैंने दे दिया पूरा काम collection का. So they will call my customers, they will send emails to my customers, and they will collect my receivables on my behalf. And in turn, they will charge certain percentage as commission. Let's say 2%, let's say 1%, let's say 3%. So that is called factoring fees or factoring commission. Understood? Apart from this, there are some factors who also provides advance. So collection process तो करते ही है. Apart from that, they also grant advances. They also grant advances to business organization. Let's say my current credit period. सब भूल जाओ, मेरे ही team, मेरे ही business organization does the collection process. I have in-house team and they collect within 40 days. Okay, so my average collection period is 40 days. Now I am going to the factor and I'm hiring his services, and he is able to collect the receivables within 30 days. अगर मैं in-house करता हूं तो 40 दिन लगते थे, but अगर factoring को ये outsource करने के बाद factor is able to collect within 30 days. So can I say still I need money for 30 days? Because 30 दिन तक तो अभी भी my amount is blocked in the debtors. Yes or no? So factor will do what? They will grant advances for 30 days and charge interest to us. So factoring services is of two types. Either they just do the collection task for you, or they do the collection task as well as grant advance as well and charge interest. Are you following? So हमें क्वेश्चन ध्यान से पढ़ना है कि कौन सी सर्विसेज हम अवेल कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम द फैक्टर. Either whether we are just outsourcing the collection task, or whether we are outsourcing the collection task plus receiving some advances from the factor as well. So we have to read the question very carefully. But having said that, did you understand the concept of factoring? What is the meaning of factoring? Who are the factors? Factors are simply the financial institutions. They provide such service to you. Any doubts? Now, ये सारे terms and conditions, the terms and conditions between the business organization and factor is written down in a document called factoring agreement. All the terms and conditions between the factor and the business organization is noted down, is written down in an agreement called factoring agreement. ये factoring agreement में क्या क्या होगा? तो what would be the factoring percentage, fees or commission, ये लिखा होगा. फिर within how many days factor would be collecting the receivables from the customers, ये लिखा होगा. Collection period लिखा होगा. Very important, whether the factoring terms are on recourse basis or non-recourse basis, ये लिखा होगा. Very important. One of the terms and condition is whether the factoring agreement is on recourse basis or non-recourse basis. Have you heard of this term now? Recourse, non-recourse? Do you know the meaning of this term? ये सुना है पहले कभी? Non-recourse basis means all the bad debts losses, if any, will be borne by factor. Company bear नहीं करेगी, will be borne by factor. So let's say I outsource the collection task to the factor. उन्होंने सबको कॉल किया, सबको ईमेल किया, but उसमें से 5% of the customers are not making the payment. So that 5% bad debts loss will be borne by factor if the agreement is on non-recourse basis. ठीक है? If it is on recourse basis, it means bad debts losses will be borne by the company. All the bad debts losses will be borne by the company, that is the business organization. ठीक है? Understood? And if question does not mention whether the factoring is on recourse basis or non-recourse basis, we always assume that it is always on non-recourse basis. Why? Because हमने सारा headache factor को दे दिया है. So now it is their headache, their task to recover the money. And if they are not able to recover, they have to bear the loss. ठीक है? But if it is on recourse basis, in addition to the factoring commission, we have to bear the bad debts losses. Understood? यहाँ पे नॉन रिकोर्स बेसिस में हमने फैक्टरिंग कमीशन, फैक्टरिंग फीस दे दी, उसमें सब आ गया. बट ऑन रिकोर्स बेसिस, फैक्टरिंग फीस, फैक्टरिंग कमीशन के साथ we have to bear bad debts losses as well. Followed? So what do you mean by factor? What is factoring? What is factoring agreement? Factoring agreement is simply the terms and condition between the company and factor. उसमें परसेंटेज कमीशन के बारे में लिखा होगा, उसमें कलेक्शन पीरियड के बारे में लिखा होगा, वेदर द अग्रीमेंट इज ऑन रिकोर्स बेसिस, नॉन रिकोर्स बेसिस, ये लिखा होगा. दिस ऑल आर द कंटेंट ऑफ फैक्टरिंग अग्रीमेंट. Why am I explaining you? Because this may be asked in theory as well. Explain factoring and factoring agreement. So you should know what does that mean. Getting this? Any doubts? So factoring simply means outsourcing of your collection process. Means आपका जो collection का headache है ना, अपने third party को दे दिया, professional को दे दिया. So they will collect the receivables on your behalf and charge factoring fees in return. And apart from factoring fees, some factors also provide advance to the company, and in turn they charge interest as well. Followed? So based on the question, we have to decide whether it is just the outsourcing of collection process or it is outsourcing plus grant of advance. ठीक है? So let's solve a question on factoring and then take the lecture ahead. Okay. So illustration 15 is very comprehensive. It will cover collection plus grant of advance, both. A factoring firm has credit sales of 360 lakhs and its average collection period is 30 days. The financial controller estimates that bad debts losses are around 2% of credit sales. The firm spends 1,40,000 annually on debtors administration. So this is administration cost. This cost comprises of telephonic and fax bills along with salaries of staff member. These are the avoidable cost. ठीक है? So this all is under current in-house. हम in-house collection करते हैं, तो we are bearing administration cost of 140. But now if we hire the entire collection process to factor, we will not incur this cost because that is avoidable. अब सारा cost factor को bear करना है. ठीक है? The factor will charge 1% commission. So this is factoring fees, and will pay an advance against receivables on an interest of 15% after withholding 10% reserve. So this is factoring service of collection process plus granting an advance. दोनों आ गया. Factor is also granting an advance at an interest rate of 15% after withholding 10% reserve. Analyze what the firm should do. So whether the company, the question says that analyze whether the company should go for in-house collection or whether the company should go for factoring service, should avail the factoring service. ये पूछा है. ठीक है? So please pay attention. Whether the company should go for in-house collection process or whether the company should avail factoring service. ये पूछा है. Okay. So whenever a company avails factoring services, two new additional cost will come. One is factoring commission आ जाएगा पिक्चर में, and if factor is granting advance, तो interest on advance भी आ जाएगा. Are you following that? Yes or no? बाकी सब सेम रहेगा. Admin, bad debts, collection, discounting सब सेम रहेगा. But apart from that, if you are availing factoring services, two new additional costs in the form of factoring commission and in the form of interest on advance will come up. ठीक है? So let's see how to solve it. The firm has a credit sales of 360 lakh and its collection period is 30 days. ठीक है? So currently the average collection period is 30 days. अच्छा, does the question mention the collection period after availing the factoring service? मतलब कि हम factoring service फैक्टर के जाने के बाद हमारा कलेक्शन पीरियड कितना होगा वो मेंशन किया हुआ है क्वेश्चन में. डज द क्वेश्चन मेंशन that after going to the factor the collection period will reduce to 20 days or it will reduce to 50 or it will increase to 40 days or it will reduce to 25 days? ऐसा कुछ मेंशन किया है anywhere? Please read the question carefully. Does the question mention about the collection period after going to the factor? No. Yes, it is not mentioned. So again, we have to assume that it will be 30 days only. Same ही रहेगा. ठीक है? So we have to assume that it is 30 days only under factoring service as well. So we will start with sales. Sales is 360 lakhs. अच्छा, फैक्टर के जाने के पास आपका सेल्स नहीं बढ़ेगा. They are just to help you for collection process. ये सेल्स बढ़ा के नहीं देंगे. हाँ, they will collect debtors in short time. 30 दिन लगता था तो 20 दिन में कलेक्ट करके देंगे, बट सेल्स नहीं बढ़ेगा उससे. Are you following? So sales will remain same. ठीक है? वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की डिटेल्स नहीं दी है, ना ही फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट की डिटेल्स दी है. So when I say this will be my contribution only or operating profit only, because there is no information on variable cost percentage, neither there is any information on fixed cost. So this will be my operating profit. From this, I will subtract admin cost. Sir, admin cost अभी तक तो हम माइनस नहीं करते थे, but this question has specifically mentioned that there is administration cost of 1,40,000. So when I say if I go with my in-house collection, I have to bear cost of 1,40,000. I have to keep some staff members, telephone bill, fax bills आएगा. But tell me, if I avail factoring service, do I need to bear this administration cost? Logically सोचो, अब मैं मान लो फैक्टरिंग के पास कलेक्शन प्रोसेस आउटसोर्स करता हूं. Do I need to bear 140? Do I need to keep staff now? Obviously not. So administration cost here, it will be nil for the company. This administration cost will be borne by the factor. उसका लुकआउट है, कंपनी का लुकआउट नहीं है. ठीक है? Second is bad debts. Second is bad debts. Bad debts, current bad debts loss is 2% of credit sales. So can I say current bad debt loss is nothing but 360 lakh का 2%? Yes or no? कितना आ रहा है? 360 or 2%. 7,20,000. Yes or no? 7,20,000. Correct? But if I go to factor up, socho, do I need to bear this bad debts loss? Yes or no? No. Why? Because it is on non-recourse basis. It पहले bad debts लेते हैं, फिर factoring fees पे जाते हैं. If I avail or if I outsource my collection process to factor, I will not have to bear bad debts. Why? Because agreement is on non-recourse basis. ये जितने भी bad debts loss होंगे collection में, everything will be borne by the factor and not the company. Yes or no? So my bad debts loss, if I avail the service of factor, will be nil, because factoring agreement will be on non-recourse basis in absence of any information. Does the question specify anywhere कि non-recourse basis पे है कि recourse basis पे है? Question is silent, so you have to assume that it is always on non-recourse basis. अगर recourse basis होता तो question would have specifically mentioned about that statement. ठीक है? So bad debts loss, if I avail factoring service, would be nil. Yes, we have assumed. Acha, third is collection cost. Does the question mention anything about the collection cost? Collection cost के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं है. Discounting cost के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं है. हाँ, factoring commission के बारे में है. Factoring commission. Factoring commission would be nil if I go for in-house collection. Why? Because इसमें ही आ गया ना खर्चा सारा administration में. So I don't have to pay any factoring commission if I collect by myself. हाँ, if I am availing factoring service, I will pay a commission. How much is the commission? Commission is 1% and commission is always on sales. Huh? Just like bad debts is on sales, factor will always charge commission on sales का figure. Huh? Sales का figure. So your factoring commission would be 360 lakhs का 1%. ठीक है? So which comes to 3,60,000. Understood till here? Interest on advances. Last but not the least, interest on advances that is granted by factor. अगर हम इन हाउस ही कलेक्शन कर रहे हैं तो देयर इज नो स्कोप ऑफ एनी इंटरेस्ट टू बी पेड, बट यहाँ पे जरूर आएगा. एंड वी विल सॉल्व दिस यूजिंग वर्किंग नोट नंबर 1. But before we learn how to calculate interest on advances, till now, is it clear to you all? Bolo, till now, is it clear to you all? Any doubts, any questions? Because now it is very important. The tricky part comes over here on calculation of interest on advances. Okay? So working note, step 1 is calculate debtors. And friends, now a very important assumption, or I would say a very important note as far as factoring question is concerned. See, अभी तक हमने जो ऊपर के 3 प्रॉब्लम करे ना, debtors was valued on total cost. But as far as factoring question is concerned, आप इंस्टीट्यूट का आरटीपी देख लो, आप इंस्टीट्यूट के एमटीपी देख लो, आप इंस्टीट्यूट के प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम देख लो. अच्छा, not just these 3 modules, but even the past papers, they have always valued debtors on sales when factoring question comes into picture. ठीक है? So we will follow the same process. We will follow the same principle that calculate debtors on sales when factoring का question comes. ठीक है? हाँ, उसके पहले for estimating the working capital or for evaluation of credit policy, we will value debtors on cost. But as far as factoring question is concerned, use sales का value. ठीक है? So step 1, calculate debtors. So this was important note just for your information. For calculation of carrying debtors, I will let you know. वो लास्ट में बताता हूँ. ठीक है? वो लास्ट में बताता हूँ. अभी फिलहाल इस क्वेश्चन में there is no percentage given for opportunity cost or for ROI. So cost of carrying debtors हम कैलकुलेट करे भी तो, बट रेट क्या अप्लाई करे वो तो दिया नहीं है. So that's why we will ignore in this question. COCD will be ignored in this question because rate is not given. So debtors, if we go to the factor, can I say collection period is 30 days only in the present case? So 360 lakhs into 30 days divided by 360. Assume 360 days in a year. So can I say my debtors comes to 30 lakhs? Yes or no? Debtors is nothing but the amount that is blocked in the business and the amount that I need funds from the factor. ये जितना amount block हुआ है उतना ही I will raise the funds from the factor. Yes or no? So I need funds of rupees 30 lakh from the factor. Now just understand the story. I went to the factor. He told me, बताओ कितना रुपया चाहिए? I told you मेरा पैसा block हुआ है 30 लाख. Give me 30 lakh. So he will say, no sir, I cannot give you 30 lakh entirely. मैं आपको नहीं जानता हूं, आपकी नीयत कैसी है मुझे नहीं पता है. I don't know your credibility. So I will keep some reserves. I will withhold some reserves. I cannot grant you entire 100%. And how much is the reserve percentage? It is 10% reserve. So factor says, sir, I cannot give you entire 10 lakh. I will keep 10% reserve margin. So he said, sir, I have to keep a reserve of 3 lakh. So I told you, grant me advance of 27 lakh then. So I told the factor, ठीक है 3 लाख 10% reserve रख ले 27 lakh तो दे. What did he say? No sir, I cannot give you 27 lakh as well. इसमें से I will deduct my factoring commission first. This is how factoring service works. They deduct the factoring fees. They deduct the factoring commission first and then give you the net advance. Are you following? कुछ लोन में भी ऐसी सिस्टम होती है. Some of the friends or relatives, when you ask them for loan, they deduct the interest first. पूरे साल का ब्याज एक साथ काट लेते हैं and then they grant you the loan. Are you following? So factor said, sir, I will deduct 1% on this sales amount. 1% is the factoring commission, yes or no? So I will deduct 1% on this, which comes to 30,000. So I will grant you an advance of 26 lakh 70,000. Are you following? See, our amount blocked in debtors is 30 lakhs. हमें तो 30 लाख ही चाहिए. But factor said, no sir, I will keep a reserve of 10%. So I will not give you this 3 lakh. And on the other hand, I will deduct this 30,000 as well. So I can grant you a net advance of 26 lakh 70,000 only. ठीक है? So step 1 is now apply interest percentage. Apply interest percent on net advance. So therefore, interest on advances would be 26 lakh 70,000 and interest percentage is 15% per annum. कितना आ रहा है? 26 lakh 70,000 into 15%, which comes to 4 lakh 500 rupees. So this is my interest cost. Okay. So interest on advances comes to 4 lakh 500 rupees. समझा आपको? ठीक है. Now, one more thing. The solution of this question ends here. But one more thing. Can I say still I need these funds? ये 3 लाख मुझे नहीं मिले और ये 30,000 मुझे नहीं मिला. Yes or no? मुझे चाहिए था 30 lakhs. The amount blocked in debtors is the fund that I need. But factor granted me 26 lakh 70,000 only. So can I say this 3 lakh 30,000? Still I need funds. Still funds needed is 3,30,000. Correct? So I have two options. Either I invest my own funds or I borrow from somewhere else. Okay? So this 3,30,000 is nothing but your COCD. Are you getting this? This is nothing but your COCD. If you go to the factor. But in the present question, they have not given the COCD percentage anywhere. So you ignore COCD cost. ठीक है? हाँ, but actual में अगर COCD का percent दिया होता, the opportunity cost of investment percentage if given in the question, then COCD would have been applied on 3,30,000. Huh? Are you following this? And not on entire debtors का value. Did you get this? Because the additional fund that I need is 3,30,000 only. Total I need 30 lakhs, but उसमें से 26,70,000 तो factor ने दे दिया. So I just still need to manage funds for 3,30,000. Followed? So if COCD percentage is also given, then don't apply on the entire amount. Just apply on 330. Correct? Understood? So this is how you attempt or you solve problem on factoring. So let's compare the two. So can I say my net benefit? My net benefit, if I go for in-house collection, would be net benefit if I go for in-house collection would be 360 lakh of operating profit less 140 less 720. 360 lakh minus 140 minus 720. 351 40. And if I go to the factor, my net benefit would be 360 lakh minus 360,000 of factoring fees and minus 4,500,000 of interest. So 352, 39, 500. So when I say my net benefit is more if I go to the factor, so company should avail factoring services. Okay? Company should avail factoring services. This interest of 15% is for the entire year only. It is not for 30 days. ये जो 15% मैंने calculate किया ना, this is for entire year only. Let me explain you. See, this 2670 is multiplied with interest per annum. So this is not for 30 days. This interest figure is for entire year only. How? Let me explain you. आज day 1 है, ठीक है? This is day 1. The entire sales of the company for the entire year is 360 lakh, correct? So can I say every month it would be 30 lakhs each? Assuming standard assumption number 1, all activities accrue evenly throughout the year. Yes or no? So let's say this is Jan. So Jan 1 को मैंने 30 lakhs का sales किया, ठीक है? I will receive the payment after 30 days. I will receive the payment after 30 days. Jan 30 को मिलेगा. Yes or no? So can I say this 30 lakhs is blocked for a period of 1 month? पूरे Jan में? Yes or no? तो मैं कहाँ गया? मैं गया किसके पास? Factor के पास. Factor. This 30 lakh is getting blocked for 30 days. Give me 30 lakhs. So factor told me, okay, you need 30 lakhs, but I will not provide you 30 lakhs. I will keep some reserves, which is 10%. Yes or no? So I told them, give me 27 lakh then. Factor said, no, I cannot grant you 27 lakh as well. I will deduct my commission of 1% on this 30 lakh, which comes to 30,000. So he told me I can grant you an advance of 26 lakh 70,000. ठीक है? यहाँ तक any query? So I asked him, okay, you grant me this 26 lakh 70,000 for 30 days. What is the interest that you will charge? So he told me I will charge you interest of 15% per annum. This is 15% per annum. But as of now, can I say I'm borrowing this 26 lakh 70,000 for 30 days only? Yes or no? Yes or no? 26 lakh 70 into 15%. So factor has granted me 26 lakh 70,000, 56 lakh 70,000 into 15% into 30 divided by 360. कितना आया interest? Can I say he will charge 3,375 for the entire month of Jan? Yes or no? So can I say ये same story Feb में होगा, मार्च में होगा, मार्च के बाद क्या आता है, अप्रैल में होगा, मई में होगा, नवंबर में होगा, दिसंबर में होगा. So can I say my interest cost per month is 33,375. So for 12 months it would be how much? 4,500,000. Did you get this? So 4,500,000 is the interest cost for entire year only. It is not for per month. ये सारा per annum ही है. This 140 is the entire per annum cost. This bad debts is entire per annum का cost. Did you get this? 33,375 is per month का interest, but the same story will go on for all the months, na? So we have to multiply it by 12. It is not again charged. This 360 is for entire months. This okay. So this is per month. Can I say this 30,000 is per month factoring commission? I have to multiply it by 12 for 12 months. So again, this 360 is not again charged. It is for entire month only. It is for entire year only. जैसे interest per annum, जैसे interest per month is 33,375. वैसे factoring commission per month is 30,000. So if we want factoring commission for per year, per annum, we have to multiply it by 12. And if we want interest per year, we have to multiply it by 12. Factoring commission is not again charged. यही 30,000 को 12 months से multiply किया है. ठीक है? So the logic is this. But direct way of solving is just apply the per annum percentage to net advance. आपको पूरे साल का मिल जाएगा. The logic of 4,500,000 is this timeline. Are you getting this? So ये 4,500,000 is not for per month interest. It is for the entire year. ठीक है? Understood? Any doubts? Okay. Any concerns? So with this, we end the chapter of management of receivables. Management of receivables में इतना ही है. There are two main parts: evaluating of credit policy and selecting the best one. Second is factoring. ठीक है? Now let's move to small topic that was left for the estimation of working capital part. हमारा दो topics, दो concepts रह गए थे. One was financing of working capital. See, in the last two sessions, we learned how to estimate the working capital. Let's say after preparing the format, our requirement of working capital comes to 15 lakhs. Okay? Now, next task is to raise. How to raise this working capital? Uske liye, we have to first study the types of working capital. So, working capital ideally can be classified into two parts, two types. One is permanent working capital and one is temporary working capital. Permanent working capital is that working capital which is required at any given point in time. पूरे साल में आपको वो permanent working capital चाहिए ही चाहिए. Whereas temporary working capital is required for short period of time, for temporary period of time. Let me give you an example. I have my ice cream parlor. Okay, my business is of ice cream parlor. I serve ice creams to the customers. So can I say during entire year मेरी आइसक्रीम पार्लर मेरी आइसक्रीम की दुकान तो खुली है. So the working capital that I need for the entire year is called permanent working capital. But friends, during summer seasons, during peak hot seasons, can I say I need more stock of ice creams? I would need more working capital for smooth functioning of my business. So for summer seasons, the working capital that you need is called as temporary working capital. Are you following? That is required for short period of time. And that is not permanently required. वो April May peak season is April May. तो April May में I would need more working capital. But for the rest of the year, I cannot close my dukan. Yes or no? I will not close my dukan. So I would need some permanent amount of working capital. So what finance scholars or advisor says that temporary working capital, the working capital that you need for seasonal basis or for short period of time, you raise it through short-term sources. Why? Because you need for that short period of time. So short-term sources से आप raise करो. Whereas permanent working capital is the working capital that you need permanently for your business. So you can raise it through long-term sources. ठीक है? This is what financial advisors suggest. But it is on the company's hand whether to go for short-term sources, whether to go for long-term sources. ठीक है? Or whether to invest own funds. Okay, so this is all about financing of working capital. So working capital is ideally categorized into two parts: permanent working capital and temporary working capital. Permanent working capital is that amount of working capital that you require permanently as far as your business is into existence. So financial advisors generally tell that raise it through long-term or medium-term sources because you need for long period of time. But temporary working capital, it is required during season, during short period or for short period of time. So raise it through short-term sources. Okay. So this is all about financing of working capital. This is a small theory part. Any queries in this? Any doubts? Any concerns? Simple tha. Second is impact of double shift working on working capital estimation. So friends, some of the factories or some of the business organization like to work on double shift and not on single shift. तो कहना है डबल शिफ्ट में हम काम करेंगे तो सारी चीजें डबल हो जाएगी. आई वुड नीड डबल ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल्स इन यूनिट्स. माय एफजी वुड बी डबल प्रोडक्शन होगा. यस और नो? हाँ, नाउ सिंस वी वुड बी बाइंग मोर अमाउंट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल्स, supplier would give us discount in the raw material per unit ka price, but my need in number of units would be doubled. पहले मैं एक ही शिफ्ट पे काम करता था 10 से 7 और सॉरी फ्रॉम 12 in the afternoon to 12 in the midnight, बट अब मैं 12 in the afternoon से 12 in the afternoon तक काम कर रहा हूँ. So can I say my requirement of raw material would be doubled? My FG production would be doubled. But one important thing, WIP will not get doubled. At any given point in time, अगर आप WIP देखोगे तो WIP डबल नहीं होगा. Why? Because मैंने raw material लेट से 12 बजे डाला, वो WIP में है. and at 12 midnight it gets completed into finished goods. So at any given point in time, process में तो WIP single ही होगा. It will not get doubled. Unless you have another machine. Are you following? So at any given point in time, WIP will remain same. It will not change. फिर again 12 बजे के बाद I will enter new raw materials and it will be into the process. So WIP में at any given point in time, it will not get doubled. First, the process of production or the production process will complete first. जो हमने starting में डाला था वो first complete होगा, फिर नया raw materials आएगा and फिर दूसरा complete होगा. So impact of double shift working on working capital estimation is very simple, that you will need raw materials double in units, you will need FG ka stock double in units, but WIP at any given point in time will remain same, because पहले जो raw material डाला था it will get completed first and after that you will enter new raw materials. Yes or no? Unless you buy a new machine. See, double shift है ना, दो तरीके से हो सकता है. You have only single machine and you work double the hours on that machine, or you work the same number of hours but you buy a new machine. So double shift, double production can be of two types. Either you increase the number of hours for the same machine, or you don't increase the number of hours but you completely buy the new machine. So यहाँ पे if you buy a new machine, then WIP will also get double, because साथ साथ में production start होगा. Production would be going on simultaneously in two machines. So WIP will also get double in that case. But if there is only single machine, then first earlier production, earlier raw materials enter will get completed, and after that you will enter new raw materials. ठीक है? Are you following this? Double shift working, impact of double shift production on working capital. A machine is double, RM and FG will not be 4 times. ये मशीन भी 8 घंटे काम 12 घंटे काम करेगा, ये भी 12 घंटे काम करेगा. हाँ, अच्छा. Now if you are working this machine for 24 hours and this for 24 hours, then this is double shift working. Means दोनों machine को double shift करवा रहे हो. हाँ, then 4 times of RM, 4 times of FG and 2 times of WIP. ठीक है? So you have to see whether you are buying a new machine or you are using the existing machine but working that on double shift. You have to check that. So if you are buying a new machine, then सबका stock double हो जाएगा. At any given point in time, RM stock would be doubled. At any given point in time, WIP will also be double, because साथ साथ में production चल रहा है. At any given point in time, FG stock will also double. But if you are using the same machine on 2 shifts, then RM stock and FG stock would be doubled, because ज्यादा production करना है. But any given point in time, आप WIP देखोगे, production देखोगे, it will not get doubled, because earlier raw material will get completed into finished goods first, and then new raw materials would be entered. ठीक है? Understood? So with this, we complete the entire topic on estimation of working capital. We complete working capital operating cycle. We complete management of receivables. Now we just have one session left for financial management, and in that session we will complete cash and treasury management, which would involve budgeting and forecasting of future cash requirements, and we have payables management. Just like management of receivables is important, likewise management of payables is equally important. Are you getting this? So how to manage payables? What is in the best interest of the company? Whether to take full credit from the creditors, or whether to pay them early and avail the discount. We will evaluate that thing In next session, we would be learning this two part. ठीक है? Cash management, which would involve budgeting, forecasting of cash requirement, and William Baumel's model of cash management and payables management. ठीक है? So with this, is Vivek sir there today? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to conclude?
Yeah, sure, sir. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for such a nice session again. And warm welcome to you, all of you. I'm Vivek Banerjee. Some of the takeaways of this session. In receivable management, as you know, there are certain benefits as well as certain costs. The benefit is obviously if you, as a seller, seller sold certain goods, then obviously the customer wants certain time period, certain time to pay the bill. किसी को भी अगर सेलर ने गुड्स बेचा है तो वो चाहेगा कि कुछ हमें समय मिले उस पेमेंट को करने के लिए. तो ऑब्वियसली व्हाट इज इट its effect is that the more and more customer will come and it will be easy to sell the goods. So obviously it will have some effect on the sales. Sales will increase and ultimately it will have the same effect on the profits as well. The profitability will also increase. So what are the costs in this? As we go through the collection cost, because sometimes the company has to appoint the recovery agents to recover the amount which has to be collected. Discounting cost is there. Sometimes what the company do is that they encourage the customers to pay early by offering them some discount. And there is administration cost as well, because the company has to appoint certain staff and there are some office supplies also related to debtors. So for this, there are certain costs also which is related to the receivables. Bad debt, obviously you know that if certain amount is not being payable by the customer. And last but not the least, the most important aspect is that the cost of carrying debtors, or the opportunity cost, very well explained by sir. And a very important point to remember is that the debtor is calculated on the cost of sales. Because what is the reason behind it? The reason is that the amount is blocked in the cost only. Therefore, the debtors is always calculated on the cost of sales. And further, during the course of the lecture, another very important aspect which is touched upon is the language which is used in some of the question. That is, for example, 1 by 10 dash net 45 days. 1 by 10 dash net 45 days. What it means? It means that generally the amount has to be paid by the customer within 45 days. But if any of the customers pay within 10 days, then 1% discount is allowed to that particular customers. So this is also very important, and it is generally used very frequently. So you have to take care of that and just clear of this concept. And after that, the concept of factoring has been very well explained by sir. What is factoring actually? Let us get and in this, you know the factoring, but one very important thing is that there are two aspects of factoring: recourse factoring as well as the non-recourse factoring. What is this? It has been explained, but let us get a picture of what happens in the factoring. For example, you as a seller sold certain goods to a particular customer. Customer, for example, gives you a certain time frame, let us say 30 days. But for 30 days, you need certain cash or you're managing the day-to-day expenses of the company. So what will you do? You contact a factor, sell your receivables to him, and for that, the customer, the factor charges certain commission, and as we have explained in C in this. But what happens, and then what happens after 30 days? After 30 days, the factor collects the amount from the customer. आपने कुछ कोड्स जो है वो फॉर एग्जांपल बेचे एज अ सेलर कस्टमर को, कस्टमर ने 30 दिन का टाइम मांगा, ठीक है, तो 30 दिन के पर 30 दिन के पहले आपको अभी कैश चाहिए होगा ना डे टू डे एक्सपेंसेस के लिए, तो आपने फैक्टर को कॉन्टेक्ट किया, फैक्टर ने आपको कुछ एडवांसेस दिए, फॉर एग्जांपल 80%. So what will happen after 30 days? 30 days के बाद क्या होगा? तो फैक्टर जो अमाउंट जो है वो कलेक्ट करेगा कस्टमर से, राइट? So what happens if the customer doesn't pay certain amount? For example, 1 लाख का अमाउंट कस्टमर ने पे नहीं किया फैक्टर. So what will happen? The customer will recover it from the client itself, you as a seller. So this happens in recourse factoring. That is, the factor is not responsible any bad debt. The bad debt है because 1 lakh rupees has not been, as an example, has not been paid by the customer. So that amount has to be recovered by the factor from the seller only. So this is a recourse factoring. And what about non-recourse factoring? In non-recourse factoring, any bad debt is not the headache of the customer. For example, आपने अगर non-recourse factoring पे off किया है, then if certain amount is not paid by the customer to the factor at the end of the period, say 30 days in this case, then in that situation, the factor will be entirely responsible for the bad debt. For example, in this case, 1 lakh, the customer will not ask you to pay the 1 lakh rupees. It will be entirely the headache of the factor. Obviously, in such cases, the factor charges certain extra commission. तो इस situations में generally fees ज़्यादा होती है, क्योंकि bad debt की भी पूरी responsibility वो factor लेता है. So this is all about the, you can say, the recourse and non-recourse. Another concept that is temporary and permanent working capital has been touched upon by the sir and simplify it very beautifully. And one important point, last but the least in the end, has been explained by sir, is that impact of double shift on the working capital estimation. And one important aspect which has to be remembered by you, that working capital will not be double. The working capital will be the same always. So overall, a very nice session, interesting session. I hope you have been glued to the lecture all along, and thank you so much for your patient listening also. On this note, we will conclude the session with hearty thanks to Dweep sir. And if
Thank
any
you.
query on your
Sir.
part, you may please go ahead.
Yes, students, if you have any queries, you can please go ahead before we end today's session.
Welcome,
Okay.
welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope, sir, shall we conclude?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank
On
you,
this,
everyone. Have a nice weekend.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Over.